What's up, everybody? Welcome into Fantasy Football Office Hours. We are here for week one, but we're going to be here every single week. It might be at a different time. We'll release that schedule, but we are here answering your fantasy football questions, and that's all we're doing. I'm your host, Simon, joined by my co-hosts and I guess fellow professors for Office Hours, Joey Wright and John Luke Garofalo. What's up, guys?
Greetings. Afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon. I feel like I just saw you, Simon. I don't know. It's been so long. So
I know. It's been a while. It was a whole poop in between the last time I saw you, Joey. We have been separated by a poop and a pee, but nothing more. Because we've already got questions in here to start. So before we start answering questions, I just want to remind people, if we helped you out, if you enjoy what we're doing here, like this video and make sure you subscribe to our channel at Front Yard Fantasy. And let's get into these questions.
Yes.
First, Carlos just updating us. The CMC shin injury is just a cut he got in practice from a cleat. Hopefully it's not bad. Why would they even bother adding him to the injury report for a cut from a cleat?
For the clicks, Simon.
Yeah.
For the heat. For the smoke.
They just want to get us all worked up before the season.
Yeah, 100%. He's probably a little baby scratch.
Also, Truly Epic wants to know TJ Hawkinson or Dawson Knox full PPR this week. I've got their matchups for you guys if you want to hear them. TJ Hawkinson is playing against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Dawson Knox, of course, playing tonight in the season opener against the Los Angeles Rams. Joey, which way are you going?
Yeah, I really like Hawkinson's matchup this week against the Eagles. I do not like Dawson Knox's matchup against the Rams. So I'm going Hawkinson off of talent and matchup.
JL?
Yeah, it's Hawkinson for me as well.
Yep, triple Hawkinson right here, and Joey nailed it. It's the matchup. I think these guys are in a similar tier for who you're starting, but this week it's going to be matchup dependent, and I'm going Hawkinson. Nomadic has a tricky situation here, so it looks like they're having to start two of the three running backs. Either Devin Singletary, one of the Ravens backs, Dobbins or Mike Davis, or Cordero Patterson. So they want to know, should they play Devin Singletary tonight in case J.K. Dobbins misses and they have to play Mike Davis on Saturday, because they would rather start Cordero Patterson over Mike Davis is what this sounds like. So what I'm going to say is I would also rather start Singletary than Mike Davis, and I'm going to start Devin Singletary tonight. Joey, do you agree?
It's hard for me to. I do agree. It's hard for me to agree because the Jets did give up the most points to fantasy running backs last year. However, I don't necessarily trust Mike Davis or J.K. Dobbins if he's. It's going to be such a timeshare there. We on the 7 to 10 show, we had the beat writer for the Ravens on, and he was talking about how much it was going to be a timeshare in Baltimore this year. So
on the FYF morning show.
On the morning show, yeah.
It's a 7 to 10 show. I thought you were talking about an evening show for some reason.
Oh, no. 7
I was like, you had a Baltimore beat reporter too? That's crazy.
I don't have any shows.
Joey's like, I've been doing secret 7 to 10 p.m. shows about you where I interview beat reporters from every NFL team.
Just in whispers so I don't hear.
So I'm starting Singletary tonight.
Yeah, give me Singletary and Cordero Patterson.
There we go. I'm with you. If J.K. Dobbins plays, are you playing Dobbins over Patterson, or are you playing Patterson?
I would play. It would depend on what the reporting is around him playing. If we just get like a clean, yep, he's in, and that's it, which is unlikely, then I'll probably still play Patterson. But if he's reasonably, if I'm confident he's going to actually get snaps and get attempts in this game, then I'll go Dobbins over Patterson, because Patterson does have a tough matchup against New Orleans.
Joey, what about you?
So I'm going to give a very situation-dependent answer. If Dobbins sits, I would rather play Mike Davis over Cordero Patterson because that matchup against the Jets, and there won't be as much of a timeshare situation without J.K. Dobbins on the field. If Dobbins plays, I want Cordero Patterson. Said that right. Yep.
Checks out right there. We had a question from Dustin. He wants to know, better week one snack, Mott Sticks or nachos? JL, that's tough for you. I was going to say, I know it's Mott Sticks, but then nachos was the second option.
Nachos are so versatile. And here's the thing about Mott Sticks is that most places, they just don't make them that good. They end up being, this weird disconnected block within the fried breading, and it's just not very good by the time it gets to you. So give me nachos.
Nachos. It's nachos for me as well. I love nachos, and it's hard to mess up nachos. Like even bad nachos.
You just add other stuff to nachos. Like Mott Sticks are just so one-dimensional.
I'm smoking a pork butt on Saturday so that I have pulled pork for nachos on Sunday.
Ooh, that's nice. Also, Scott Fishing is saying he has Davis ranked ahead of Singletary by a couple spots this week.
I don't hate that at all. Yeah, going against the Jets, it makes sense. It's a very easy matchup. makes a ton of sense. He also added to the previous question, Hawk, last year the Eagles gave up the most receptions and touchdowns to tight end and 6th most yards. So it's a good point. It's a good point. Hockenson might get a lot of work this week.
Yep. Love
Absolutely. Also, I see Davis in the chat. What's up, Davis? He said, long time no see, daddies. Long time no see to you as well.
What up, Davis?
Hey,
And
Davis.
Mr. Scamber said, I doubt that poop was whole. Well, you'd be right. It was not whole. I had mac and
Half
cheese for
poo-poo
lunch.
are and full poo-poo are totally different.
Whole poo-poo are. How come we've never,
I
how
don't
come
know.
we've never said that?
I
How come
know.
we've been streaming for 2 years and we've never said poo-poo are?
We've been alive for 28 years, and how have we never said poo-poo are?
Like, we've been playing fantasy football for what, 12, 15 years now at this
28
point? Like,
years. Yeah, full
God.
28 years.
just insane. Carlos in here with a question. What's up, Carlos? I know we saw you in the last show, but thanks for tuning in, my man. He said, with the
What up,
last
Carlos?
pick in a 12-team half PPR league, I picked Sony Michel. Is he worth the stash, or is there someone who could be on waivers that would be a better ad? Joey, do you think Sony Michel's worth having at the end of your bench?
I mean, I would love to see your waiver wire because I'm sure there's someone I like more than Sony Michel. I mean, I'll mention a player for tonight. If you've got one of those waiver wires that allows you to like drop a player that played on Thursday and pick up on Sunday or pick up on Saturday, like you can just wait, just see how they do. If Kyron Williams ends up as the receiving running back for the Rams, he is on every waiver wire out there. And if you've got you can wait and watch tonight. And if he doesn't do anything, drop him. And then you might be able to get Sony Michel by Sunday. Now you've got to have one of those leagues that works that way. I would pick up Kyron Williams. But that's a really deep sleeper. But
Yeah, I'm fine stashing Sony Michel. He was valuable whenever he got the touches last year, and people were excited about Isaiah Spiller in this offense. Not that he's going to be the same role, but there is value behind Austin Eckler, is what I'm trying to say. So if you want to add Sony Michel and hold on to him, I'm cool with it. That being said, I'm also fine dropping him if there's someone on the waiver wire that you absolutely love. He's not a must hold because I do think the upside is limited. He could be a goal line back for them in some points during the season, but the upside's not really there. JL, are you dropping Sony?
Yeah, I'm not too interested in Sony Michel. I especially just in redraft formats. I don't know that he's going to be able to really carve out enough of a role on a team to be fantasy relevant. There's some other guys I'd probably rather stash. Isaiah Likely could be interesting. Again, I don't know about redraft, but maybe Pacheco. Yep.
Yeah.
Romeo Doubs, Watson.
Yeah, Romeo Doubs is like a big name if you can add him because it does not look like Lazard's going to play. He didn't practice today. So Romeo Doubs
hurts my feelings. I've got a lot of Alan Lazard from my
So
draft earlier in the offseason. Tim wants to know best beer to enjoy for kickoff. That is the Prairie Brewing Company Rainbow Sherbet Sour beer is definitely the best beer to enjoy for kickoff, or a Topo Chico Seltzer, pineapple. What do you guys think?
Summer Shandy.
Summer Shandy, of course. I could
Pine and
answer that
Kugel.
one for you. Joey? Oh, water is the best beer to enjoy.
Water.
for
I don't
kickoff
drink.
right there.
I'm sorry, everyone.
That's all good. And Mrs. Gibbons might mess around and open a bourbon barrel aged triple. That's some fancy beer right there.
Woo.
Getting that triple. And don't drink too many of those. I imagine one triple would throw a cat into orbit. Like they would be entirely drunk after one triple. Dame has a question for us. Ooh, the urge to play Thursday night players, and it's an exciting one. It's, do I start A-Rob tonight or Waddle, hoping the quad doesn't keep him out? My pivot option off of Waddle would be Amon-Ra St. Brown. So are you starting Allen Robinson tonight or holding out for Waddle with Amon-Ra St. Brown as your backup? Joey, what do you think?
Listen, I've been the Allen Robinson guy all off season. Man, I'm so scared for him tonight. I have him outside as a wide receiver. I'm at wide receiver 28. I have Jalen Waddle at 23. I would sit A-Rob for Waddle. That hurts for me to say because of how much I told people to draft him this year. Especially if you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown as the backup. I just hate this matchup against the Bills tonight.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I will say is this matchup against the Bills, Davis brought it up on our last show.
Yeah.
It could affect Stephon Diggs a lot more than it could affect Allen Robinson, right? Stephon Diggs may be the one who sees that one coverage from the Rams. I said that wrong. It could affect Cooper Kupp more than it affects Allen Robinson. I said the wrong name right there. But man, I feel like I'm expecting a big game out of Allen Robinson tonight, and I want to start him. Like the injury, I think it's a big drop off from Allen Robinson to Amon-Ra St. Brown. and not that big of a drop off in my mind from Waddle to A-Rob. And there is serious upside with Allen Robinson and what could be a super high scoring Thursday night game. I'm going Robinson. That's where I'm going. JL, what about you?
I will take. We have to start two, or no, just one of the two.
And Waddle might be out, so she was just letting us know that Amon-Ra St. Brown is her backup in case Waddle is out.
I'll start Allen Robinson as well. I think Waddle is probably the most likely to get the most points this week, but like Simon said, play that upside.
Yeah,
play that upside.
Chase that over under.
Joey, if it makes you feel better, just on the last show, I picked Brandon Cooks over Darnell Mooney, and I've been punching the Darnell Mooney train all offseason. But the matchups sometimes change in week one.
It hurts. Yeah. Absolutely. I hope that Allen Robinson has the biggest game in the world tonight. I really do.
Uneasy Allies wants to know, should I start Burrow against the Steelers or Lance against the Bears in a 4-point per passing touchdown league? JL, are you starting Joe Burrow against the Steelers or Trey Lance against the Bears?
I will start Joe Burrow against the Steelers. I want to see what Trey Lance looks like in this offense. I want to. Who are the 49ers playing again?
The Bears.
The Bears. You said that. It's not that. It's a pretty easy matchup for Lance, but still, it's Burrow. I want to see him. You must have drafted Joe Burrow probably ahead of Trey Lance, so I'd roll with him soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Burrow. However, there is a Jamie Eisenberg start of the week is Trey Lance. I just saw that before we came on the show. And if it's 4 points per passing touchdown, the rushing from Lance, I'm still starting Burrow though.
Start your studs. Start the player you drafted. I'm with you guys. It's going to be Joe Burrow. Now, if it was maybe that next tier down, like the Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins tier of players, I'd be tempted to start Lance, even with the unknown of what this offense is going to look like against the Bears this week. But with Burrow, you got to start your studs in that matchup. Carlos has another question from us. He says, from the last show, I'm going to start Kirk. However, who should I flex? Michael Thomas, Nico Collins, Raheem Mostert, or Albert O? Joey, which of those players are you flexing?
Get Michael Thomas to line up. I think if he is on the field, which I fully expect him to be on the field this week, he is going to have a game against Atlanta. Please start Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a unanimous Michael Thomas here. It's Michael Thomas for me. JL, what about you?
It is Michael Thomas for me as well. I expect this to be a high-scoring game of two very interesting offenses.
Interesting. That's one way to describe the Atlanta Falcons offense.
Yeah, because it's not two great offenses. It's just two interesting offenses. I don't know that either team's going to be able to stop the other.
We'll see. I have a little bit less faith in that Atlanta offense, but I hope you're right. That'll make it more fun to watch. Jay has a question for us. He says, start two, PPR, Rashad Penny, Damian Harris, Breece Hall, Darrell Henderson, James Robinson. Joey, are there any locks in there for you that you're definitely starting this week?
I don't mind Rashad Penny. I really don't. And for the fun of it, let's see what Breece Hall can do. I want to see what's going on in New England with that running situation before I start Damian Harris. I did draft him a lot this year. But yeah, I'm excited for Breece Hall. I want to see what he does. And Penny.
JL, what about you?
Quickly get James Robinson out of here. Does not belong. We got Breece Hall, who I think I'm a little nervous to start. I know the Ravens is a very stout defense. Week one, that offensive line is injured. I think I'm taking Damian Harris and Rashad Penny.
Ooh, this one is close. I think I'm going.
You know what?
Penny and Breece Hall is where I'm going to go on this one. I think I'm going to go Rashad Penny, Breece Hall.
I'm changing my answer to yours, Simon.
Rashad Penny, Breece Hall.
Yeah,
and Joey, that's what you said as well, right?
Yeah. So, but that's fine. You can call it Simon's answer. It is Simon's answer. That's true.
Great answer, Simon.
Thank you so much. JL's just loving the fact that it wasn't him this time that had the answer credited to somebody else. That's the classic move is JL gives a take and then we credit it to somebody else throughout the entire season.
Yep.
The all-in-one show wants to know Gabe Davis or T. Higgins, Jefferson and Chase as my 1-2. Get T. Higgins in there for me. It's not close.
Yeah.
T.
Higgins and Gabe Davis are on different planets.
I do like Gabriel Davis tonight, but not over T. Higgins. The Rams did go up a good amount of points to wide receivers last year, and it's really only wide receiver one that got hurt a lot by the Rams with Jalen Ramsey. So I'm expecting Diggs to get a lot of Ramsey tonight. So, but still, start Higgins.
Yeah, and if Gabe Davis blows up, which I think is possible for him, like in any given week, he's the kind of player who can go for 2 touchdowns. I'm not expecting that consistently throughout the season. I think we're going to see the Gabe Davis of last year where it's big games and then disappearing acts. So if he blows up on your bench, though, that's a good thing. Like, you've got great wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. And if Gabe Davis blows up, then that's not a bad thing on your bench. Now you have a little bit more confidence starting him going forward, but I just could not bench T. Higgins for Gabe Davis. Iden wants to know, start 1, Allen Robinson or Travis Etienne, full PPR. Hey, what's up, Iden? Welcome in. Joey, another Allen Robinson question, and it's your chance. Are you starting him over Etienne, or are you picking against him again?
I think Etienne's going to explode this week. I'm really looking forward to starting Travis Etienne.
Yeah, what about you?
It's Travis Etienne for me as well.
Yeah.
It is close.
Man, yeah, this one is close, but it's Travis Etienne for me. We are agreeing so much on today's show. We're in lockstep right now. We've had a couple disagreements, but Travis Etienne for me as well. Albert wants to know, Kirk or Bateman, full PPR. JL, are you going with Rashad Bateman, the new wide receiver 1 for the Baltimore Ravens, or Christian Kirk, the new wide receiver 1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Rashad Bateman. We just said it. Baltimore Ravens are playing the New York Jets. The Jets, guys. It's the Jets. I know they've taken a step up in this offseason. They're still not a fantastic team. I think Baltimore is going to run away with this. I think they're going to feature Bateman. Give me Bateman.
Joey, you agree with JL?
I have Bateman ahead of Kirk. I like both matchups for them, though.
Yeah,
Christian Kirk, they're playing Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Bateman matchup a little bit better, but it's not a bad matchup for Christian Kirk, but I'm still starting Rashad Bateman right there. Truly Epic wants to know, will Tom Brady play the entire season and get divorced or retire mid-season? So, Joey, you're the Bucs fan. Do you think Tom Brady's going to play the whole year and get divorced or retire mid-season?
I don't want anything bad to happen to Tommy. He's going to play the whole season.
He's going to play the whole season. I tend to agree with you right there. Also, Scott coming in, just giving some clarity about that Atlanta Saints matchup. Said Atlanta allowed the 6th most touchdowns to wide receivers and the 5th most receptions, but yardage was pretty middle of the pack. The vast majority of damage was done on the outside, where they ranked 2nd worst in the league. And luckily, Thomas moves around, but AJ Terrell and Casey Hayward can handle things. He's not as bullish on Michael Thomas, but he can see both sides. I think that's a totally fair take on that one right there. We've got some more questions in here. Jody, welcome in, Jody. Glad to have you join us. Jody wants to know, Gabe Davis over Zeke in my flex, half PPR. No. I know the temptation to get Gabe Davis in there because he can blow up, and it's Thursday night, the first game of the season.
Yeah.
But Zeke is the dude. Zeke is so safe. Like, Zeke is just going to get those carries, going to get those touches. But Zeke is going up against who are the Cowboys playing? The Cowboys are playing the Buccaneers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a really tough run defense, but I'm still going Zeke. I can't plug in Gabe Davis over Zeke week 1. Joey, what about you?
Yeah, they allowed the 10th least most fantasy points to
least most?
10
least most.
Sorry, points to fantasy running backs last year, but yeah, I'll probably still play Zeke. Man, that's tempting though with Gabe Davis. I don't even like Gabriel Davis. Just this. Yeah.
I get it. The same thing. I'm not a big Gabriel Davis guy, but I see that and I'm like, oh, I want it. Thursday night, get him in there. But I don't know. JL, what about you?
It's Zeke for me. I agree with you, Simon. It is a really tough matchup, so I can understand wanting to go Gabe Davis, but the matchup isn't fantastic for Gabe Davis either. So
yeah,
not quite as bad.
100% true. Monique in here. Welcome in, Monique. Glad to have you in here. Monique said, hey guys, need some PPR flex help. I got you. Devonta. So I'm guessing Devonta Smith and Julio Jones, or
a running back
like Singletary or Patterson.
I like Rub.
Renfro, Devonta Smith, Julio Jones, Singletary, or Patterson in the flex. Joey, which of those 5 players are you throwing in the flex in a PPR league?
I'm probably going to go Renfro. Yeah.
Yep.
Renfro
just one
as well.
Just pick one. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like just one flex player. Who would be your next one though, JL?
My next one would be Devonta Smith playing against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that's fair.
PPR league. I think he'll get a decent number of targets in this game.
I think I'd go Patterson. I think he'll get a decent number of targets against the Saints, and he's supposedly the first running back on that depth chart. He should be seeing a decent number of carries as well. So I'd go Renfro first, but then Patterson second on that one. And Dame, our overlord, all hail Dame.
Dame overlord.
Wants to know Ramondre at Miami, Gainwell at Detroit, or Hines at Houston. So Nyheim Hines, Kenneth Gainwell, or Ramondre Stevenson. Joey, which of these three are you starting?
All right, I'm gonna go off the board here on this one. I think it's gonna be different than everyone else. I'm gonna go Nyheim Hines against Houston. I think that
is different.
Indianapolis goes up big, and I think Hines can get some work. And I'm expecting him to get a lot of the passing downs work in this game, because I do think the Colts are built for the playoffs. So I think you're gonna see Jonathan Taylor get not rested, but taken out a little bit more, and Hines is gonna eat that work up that he's not in for.
It's Hines for me. It's not.
It is okay.
It's not a hot take. It's Hines for me as well.
Hines is second for me, ahead of Gainwell, but I'll roll out Ramondre Stevenson. I think he's going to at least get some of the work in this backfield, but there's the chance that he's the lead guy. The matchup doesn't scare me too much. And I think he's the only one on this list where there's even a chance that he could be like the primary ball carrier, right? I don't think that exists for Kenneth Gainwell or Nyheim Hines in those offenses.
You don't think Damian Harris will be used?
Well, no, I think Damian Harris can be used, but the reports coming out of camp are that Ramondre Stevenson is going to take on a bigger role this year. Like Ramondre Stevenson,
the primary guy?
Ramondre Stevenson could be the primary guy. Toward the last 2 weeks of this offseason, Ramondre Stevenson's going ahead of Damian Harris in drafts now. As the offseason came to a close, because of the reports coming out that he's looked great in the preseason, and they're saying that they want to get him more involved, especially in the passing game. So Ramondre Stevenson could be the primary ball carrier there. Kenneth Gainwell can't. Nyheim Hines can't. I'll go Ramondre Stevenson. Carlos in here. Joey, it's a Dameon Pierce question, and I know you love some Dameon Pierce. He said, do we start Dameon Pierce off the rip or give him the week to prove it?
Off the rip.
The coaching staff came out today and said, Dameon Pierce is our starting running back. Put him in off the rip. Let's go.
Off the rip.
It does matter. I mean, it does matter of who else your options are, but like, let's have fun. Fantasy is supposed to be fun. Dameon Pierce, week 1, RB1. Let's go.
Joe, What about you?
I'm fine letting him ride this week. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, if you drafted him, especially recently, you drafted him to start him most likely.
I'm turning my phone off.
I'm expecting like a running back 3 type of performance. I'm not expecting some explosive type week, but I think running back 3 is playable.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some more questions in here. Scott Fish, Scott Fish coming in saying it's almost like I actually do fantasy football research and not just a league runner, jokester, FYF heel.
I feel like that was like no one. And Scott Fish. I do research.
All in one show wants to know Higgins or Brown. I'm guessing this is Marquise Brown this week. T. Higgins or Marquise Brown?
Could be AJ Brown.
Could be AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
We'll need some more information all in one show. But I guess between those three, like, are Higgins over either of those Browns, or are you starting either of those Browns over Higgins?
I'm starting AJ Brown over Higgins.
But Marquise, what if it's Marquise Brown?
Marquise Brown's I have behind Higgins.
Joe, what about you?
So Higgins or AJ Brown?
We'll do both. I just did both real quick.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start AJ Brown over all of those options. And then I'd probably go T. Higgins and then Marquise Brown, but I'm back to back my rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Marquise Brown is super tempting though. I feel like the Arizona Kansas City game could be a really
53 and a half over under
points scored. Like, Vegas is expecting that to be a high over under, and DeAndre Hopkins is out. Zach Ertz might miss that game. Like, it could just be the Marquise Brown show. You know what? I'm talking myself into it. I think I'm going Marquise Brown on this
over
one.
Higgins.
Like, over Higgins. I think Marquise Brown over Higgins in this matchup. It makes sense. It should be a high-scoring game. And who the hell else is going to get the ball? It's Marquise Brown that Kyler Murray is going to be hitting.
Ertz might not play either.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Like,
I think you talked me into changing my rankings.
That's a win for me right there. Easy Money wants to know Sammy or Breece Hall full PPR. Is that Sammy Watkins? If so, Sammy, I'm just kidding. Breece Hall. Don't fall for week 1, Sammy. Joey, are you going week 1, Sammy, or are you taking Breece Hall?
No, Breece Hall.
JL?
Breece Hall.
It's fun. You know what? I'm going to go with our buddy Coop's advice. If you feel like you need exposure to week 1 Sammy Watkins, go make a DFS lineup.
Yeah.
Go throw a FanDuel lineup together or something. Get it out of the system. Get that Sammy Watkins somewhere where you can benefit from it, win some money, but you don't have to put him in your starting lineup in your league. All in one show says start 2 running backs, Ezekiel Elliott, Elijah Mitchell, and Rashad Penny. Joey, which 2 of these 3 would you be starting?
Mitchell for sure. And then I'm probably Zeke.
Probably Zeke.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna go Mitchell and Zeke as well, Joey.
Yep.
Penny's third on that list. I like Penny this week, as we talked about, like in an earlier question. But Ezekiel Elliott, you got to start
It's
him.
prime time too.
Yep,
Not
and then
that
Elijah
really
Mitchell
matters, but it does.
He's got a good matchup, and
Yeah.
I expect the 49ers to go up in this game fairly early. So it should be a run-heavy game script, especially first game for their new quarterback that they're breaking in. Elijah Mitchell seems like a slam dunk play in this one. Mr. Scamper's in here. So Kittle has been announced that he might miss week 1. If he does miss, is he starting Gesicki, Tunyon, or Taysom Hill this week? Joey, where would you go here?
I mean, I hate that Robert Tunyon also might not play this week. So I think you're going to, I mean, I'm playing Gesicki over Taysom Hill for sure. But if Alan Lazard's out and Robert Tunyon plays, I'm starting Robert Tunyon over Gesicki. Like, I like him a lot. I hope Kittle plays for you, though, so you don't have to make that decision.
I hope Kittle plays as well. And Joey, I thought for sure you were going to say Gesicki on that one. The upside for Robert Tunyon is so much higher than the upside for Gesicki. And Robert Tunyon, like you said, if Allen Lazard is out, Devontae Adams gone, it's 2 rookies, maybe if Christian Watson is playing. He was full participant at practice today, so it looks likely. But I would love to throw Tunyon in there, but it comes down to, is he playing? We have to find out if Tunyon's going to play. Otherwise, Gesicki over Taysom. Fully agree with you, Joey. Pang wants to know AJ Brown or Mike Williams. Joey, is it AJ Brown or Mike Williams for you?
I love AJ Brown's matchup. I think him and Jalen Hurts are going to want to show out in the first game. So yeah, AJ Brown for me.
AJ Brown, and I'm going to go AJ Brown as well. The Mike Williams is in that juicy matchup that we talked about earlier, the Raiders Chargers matchup. But like you said, AJ Brown should be the one in that offense, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do out there.
Absolutely.
Trey in here asking us, afternoon, gents. Afternoon to you as well, Trey. Said full PPR flex. Breece Hall, Michael Thomas, Jerry Jeudy, or Damian Harris. Thank you. Joey, this one's a little bit trickier, I feel like. Where are you going here?
This is one of my favorite questions we've got, because you've got a good decision to make. Like you can go wrong, but I like all your options here except for Damian Harris. So throw him out. Listen, I'm going to go Michael Thomas. I do like his matchup against Atlanta. I know what Scott Fish came on here and said, but Scott Fish is just a league runner. He doesn't actually play fantasy. So.
He's just a league runner. Which one did you go with, Joey?
I went with Michael Thomas. I'm going
to go with Jerry Jeudy. Go Jerry Jeudy this week. It is a pretty tough decision.
Yeah, it's a good decision to have.
Yeah.
Give me Jerry Jeudy. I'm with you, JL. I want to see.
Let's
I want to see this Seahawks off, or this Broncos offense going up against the Seahawks.
Are we still allowed to say let Russ cook, or is that just a Seattle thing?
They have restaurants in Denver.
Okay.
Though it is harder to cook at that elevation, right? Like it actually changes the recipes.
Yeah, doesn't water boil at like a lower temperature?
Something. It boils at a different something for sure. I can't tell you whether it's lower or higher. I've also heard rumors that your bread doesn't get stale if you leave it open at that altitude because it's drier and the moisture is what makes bread go stale. That could be a complete lie that someone told me just to mess with me, but that's what I've heard. Easy Money in here says if Godwin doesn't play, do I go Nico Sicilian? Oh, I missed that, JL. And he's oops right there, but I knew you would catch it coming in. I had the hiccups right in the middle. It's that mac and cheese with too much hot sauce, and it's been just wreaking havoc on me. Easy Money Sicilian said, if Godwin doesn't play, do I go Nico Collins, Sammy Watkins, or Kadarius Toney? I'm going to be real, Easy Money Sicilian. That's a big drop-off from Godwin to the 3 options that we're talking about right here. So I think the answer is just upside probably. Like you're looking for that guy. Kadarius Toney might be injured. Man, I know I was just disparaging week 1 Sammy, but this might be a situation where it makes sense. Nico Collins could be the 2 in that offense. So it's between Nico and Sammy for me because Kadarius Toney might be injured. Joey, what do you think?
Yeah, I just wanted to check something. For me, it's Kadarius Toney. The Titans gave up the second. Right? Yeah, they gave up the second most fantasy points to wide receivers last year. And like I said, I am huge. What?
I said bingo. I'm with
Joey, you don't have to.
I thought you said Nico. I was like, dude, okay. Yeah, it's Kadarius Toney for me if he plays. I really like him a lot this week, actually.
Yep, I'm with you, Joey.
Double Kadarius Toney.
I thought you popped in and said Nico. I was like,
Nico.
okay, I'm gonna give you your time, JL, but you know.
Oh, also, we are seeing that Kadarius Toney steers clear of the injury report, so it's likely that he's going to play. We've got a question from Keegan in here. Wants to know Njoku or Kmet this week. It's Kmet for me. I know the matchup is tough, but that offense is going to run through Mooney and Kmet, and that's it. I don't know that Njoku is going to be that second receiving option in the Browns offense. They've got David Bell after Amari Cooper. They've got Donovan Peoples-Jones. They've got Anthony Schwartz. They still have Harrison Bryant on the roster as well. Njoku's a great flyer, but I want to sit him week 1 and see what that offense looks like with Jacoby Brissett, see how he's used. I know Kmet's going to be used. I know Kmet's going to be heavily targeted. I'll take Kmet. JL, where are you going?
I'm going Kmet as well. Going against San Francisco.
Joey?
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Kmet, but the top 5 tight end season for Kmet starts Sunday.
Yeah.
So
you got old Jacoby Brissett starting for David Njoku.
Yeah. Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett.
JL, I'm going to throw this one to you first. Rashad Bateman, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brandon Cooks, or Gabe Davis at flex?
Good question,
Yeah.
Keegan. Good question. I'm going Rashad Bateman out of these 3 guys. Give me Rashad Bateman against the Jets.
It's 4 guys.
It's 4 guys. He's the one I missed. Oh, I
Rashad
missed Cooks. I missed Cooks.
Does that change your answer?
Houston, we just talked about it. Who are they playing again? My brain is so scrambled. Indianapolis, right. Oh, I'm still going Bateman, but Cooks makes it a little interesting.
Joey, what about you?
It's Cooks for me.
Cooks for me as well.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of work. So
double Cooks, JL going on the Bateman side, but real close. And Carlos following up on his other question. So that being said, flex Hollywood or Dameon Pierce? Joey?
Hollywood.
JL, what do you think?
It is Hollywood for me as well.
It is Hollywood for me. If I picked Hollywood over T. Higgins, then I better pick him over Dameon Pierce in my flex.
Maybe not for long, though.
Maybe not. We'll see. Anuna in here. What's up, Anuna? Says Kittle is hurt, sadly. Who should I pick up if he's ruled out? Alberto, Austin Hooper, or Mike Gesicki?
Ooh, Gesicki being there is interesting. I'm gonna go Alberto.
Alberto was the one that I crossed off immediately for me. Gesicki is
Hooper's
safe.
the one I crossed off.
Gesicki's safe. Hooper is interesting to me. Like Hooper has the potential. Hooper's the kind of guy that I wish you had on your bench that you could see if you could start later. But with having George Kittle, you know what? I'm going to say Austin Hooper may not be the best start this week, but since you have George Kittle, I want the person on here that I view as like having the most upside. And I think Austin Hooper in this offense could establish himself as maybe a top 2 target. And so I'll take Austin Hooper, plug him in. He's a fine start, and then see what you got for the rest of the season. Joey, what about you?
Alberto.
You got 3 different answers. No, JL went with Alberto as well.
I went with Alberto, yep.
2 Albertos and 1 Austin Hooper. Q McBride, what's up? Says, what's going on, fellas? Choose one for flex PPR. J.K. Dobbins versus the Jets. Michael Thomas versus Atlanta. Sutton versus Seattle, or Elliott versus Tampa Bay.
Get Dobbins out of there.
Dobbins out of there. Joey, what do you think?
Michael Thomas and I had a wonderful relationship. We had a beautiful walk on the beach. Everything was wonderful, but I'm bringing my love to Courtland Sutton.
JL?
Yeah, it's Courtland Sutton.
It is Courtland Sutton to me as well. Also, I see Juan in here saying that's a nice signed Moore jersey. Thank you. I love DJ Moore.
But
makes me absolutely happy. Our next question. The Chosen Rose in here said, is Sammy Watkins a good pickup? Joey, are you considering picking up Sammy Watkins in any leagues?
I mean, if he needed a ride to like somewhere to go, I'd pick him up, but I'm not going to put him on a fantasy team.
Jill, what about you?
I think he's worth picking up for sure. I mean, we talk about all these ancillary wide receivers in Green Bay potentially being relevant. You're going to leave out Sammy Watkins. He still could return some value, but I'm not expecting that necessarily.
No.
Yeah, he's a flyer. He's an absolute flyer.
Yeah,
a lottery ticket. It's not likely to work out, but there's a lot of uncertainty there. So maybe it could. Scott Fish says, I think Joey and I should start a matchup show. Joey, you in?
No.
Or mashups. Absolutely not.
Scott's been trying to start a show with me. I'm just waiting for his best show offer.
You're not into
He,
this one.
he
You
mentioned a
did
movie
mention
show
it.
with me, and that really perked my interest because I love to read. So
Yeah, because you like reading so much.
Yeah.
Brendan wants to know: start Cole Kmet or Hunter Henry?
Ooh, Hunter Henry against Miami. Cole Kmet. I'm gonna go with Cole Kmet.
What about you, Joey?
yeah, I'll go commit.
Yeah, it's Kmet for me as well. Though it's fairly close.
Two spots apart.
It's
Yeah.
fairly close. I don't think this is a ridiculous question.
I think that
Dame-
New England game is just gonna be so weird. I'm just not very confident in predicting it because it's always weird.
it
every
is
single
always
year.
weird. Also, Dame now asking ranch or barbecue. Like if you're talking sauce, here's the correct
Chips?
answer. Are there ranch chips? I guess Cool
Yeah,
Ranch Doritos, or
Doritos.
barbecue chips. I was imagining like sauce, like it's like a dipping sauce. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
either
then
way,
ranch.
the answer is neither. They're both gross.
What kind of barbecue?
I'll go.
I'm imagining just like if you get barbecue sauce at McDonald's. Know what I mean? Like you're just
Okay,
standard.
I hate that kind of barbecue
barbecue
sauce. So no.
I'm gonna go off on Simon here.
Ranch
Let
is
me know when I
gross.
can talk.
Barbecue sauce is gross. Joey, the floor is yours.
You
Ooh,
live
a
in
lot-
Texas, damn it.
A lot
Get
of
out of
Allen
that state. They
Robinson, Rashad Bateman questions, by the way. I've been seeing a bunch in here.
Yeah, I
I'll
see a
make
lot
it-
of them in there as well.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. Simon, the only good thing about your state is barbecue sauce and barbecue. And you say
Oh!
it's gross. So no.
I'm gonna say it. Texas is a
Got
shitty barbecue state compared to like
Oh.
the North Carolina barbecue, Kansas barbecue. They can
Kansas
kick
City,
me
I'll
out
give
of
you.
here.
But
Like the Carolinas barbecue is 10 times better than Texas barbecue. Come at me. Fight
take your
me.
mustard and never mind. We need to get off. We
Fight
need
me.
to help these people with their lineups, not discuss your terrible takes. on
Barbecue
sauce.
lecture.
I see the same question from a couple people, like you mentioned, JL. Rendon and SV want to know Allen Robinson or Bateman this week. Joey, it's a third Allen Robinson question. Are you going
I
Allen
think
Robinson?
we answered this one
or-
already, right?
I
Did
feel
we?
like we did.
I think we did.
And it was
yeah,
Bateman.
I went
Yeah,
Bateman.
I went
and
Bateman.
oh yeah, we went Bateman and Simon went Allen Robinson.
I
No.
did go Allen Robinson.
Yeah,
But maybe these guys weren't in here whenever we answered it earlier for somebody else.
it is
down
very
there.
close, which is why I'm assuming a lot of people have that because I think they'll finish back to back most likely this week.
It's Bateman, and I hope I'm wrong.
You want it
Right,
to be
right.
Allen
I want it to be Allen
right
Robinson.
there. Also,
That's
Watson,
fine.
gotta go. Bubba Ray's barbecue sauce always. Nah, I'm out. I love a vinegar based sauce. That is my favorite kind of sauce. That's my favorite kind of barbecue sauce. Are there any more questions in here that I'm missing? I'm looking through trying to see if we missed any questions.
It's a Jeff Wilson one I just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juan wants to know, is Jeff Wilson a necessary hold? I kind of want to get a backup like Zamir White or Rashad White. So would you be willing to drop Jeff Wilson for for either Zamir White or Rashad White?
For Zamir, yes. I think Zamir White is really interesting. I'm not sure that Josh Jacobs is going to hold on to that job this year. And if he doesn't, I see Zamir White being a huge part of that Raiders offense.
Yeah, I went to Joe. It's Zamir White's the only one, well, out of the two that I would drop Jeff Wilson for here.
But it's Shanahan, so you never know who's going to be the running back there by the week. So
Yeah.
Carlos in here asked, my leagues like to draft a backup quarterback.
Okay.
I have Lawrence as my backup. However, I realized that him and Brady, my starter, have the same bye week. Should he pick up a different player or just roll with it?
Just roll with it. If you're only starting one QB, honestly, I'm sometimes I don't even like rostering two quarterbacks because when's our first bye week? You guys
their bye
remember?
week's 11.
Their bye
Their
week's
bye week.
11. So you got 11 weeks. So much is going to change in that time.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't worry
there's,
too much about it.
there's going to be a quarterback on the waiver wire in week 11, even with everybody having a backup. Like
Yeah.
one of Wentz, Ryan Goff, Tannehill, Trubisky will be sitting on the waiver wire in week 11.
And
Stick with these two guys.
This might be a good chance for you, Carlos, to make a trade with Lawrence. If somebody in your league likes Lawrence, you might be able to get a quarterback that is pretty comparable to him. But I would, like a lot's going to happen in the next 10 weeks, especially if a quarterback goes down. You've got Lawrence right there that you can use as trade bait and then go pick up one of these other guys, which I would probably pick up Matt Ryan out of them all.
Yeah, I think I
Double
agree.
check.
Mr.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Mr. Scampers has a question for us. A fourth Allen Robinson question. Half PPR, Robinson or Gabe Davis?
Gabe Davis. It's Allen Robinson for me.
It's Allen Robinson for me as well. Joey, what about you?
Allen Robinson. I've been so it's so funny because this is the player that I was so in on this offseason and the player I was so out on this offseason. And in my mind, I'm like, I would kind of like Gabe Davis's matchup better tonight, but
It's a
so
better
funny.
matchup for sure.
Yeah, but I'm probably Allen Robinson. Yeah. What am I?
Obi-Wan in here says, I need to pick up Hooper off of waivers. Should I drop Drake London, D-Hop, Tony Pollard, or Cordero Patterson? I don't want to drop a single one of those players for Austin Hooper. Like,
No, not at all.
I hope there's someone else you can drop. If not, like, I'm guessing maybe this is a Kittle or Ertz situation where your tight end is injured, but they're not someone that you want to drop. Do you guys ever think it's the right move to take a 0 so you don't have to drop someone on your bench? Because, man, this is tough. This is tough.
I will absolutely take a 0 to keep someone on my bench. I'm completely fine with that because it's all strategy. Sometimes you can lose this week, and if it helps you later on in the grand scheme of things, let's say you already made the playoffs, like you already clinched the playoffs, a playoff spot, and you have to drop some guy who's coming back right around the playoffs.
If your league allows it, some leagues won't. They'll call it an illegal lineup, but it's cool if you beat somebody with 9 players and they have 10, you can hold that over their head. That's always nice too.
Even bigger flex.
Who would you drop? Like, who could you possibly drop from
DeAndre Hopkins? But you don't want to do that. Someone's going to pick him up. I pick DeAndre Hopkins up, but
he is saying I can pick them all back up through waiver. Maybe he's got first waiver priority, and this is not a fab league.
Maybe.
Man, I wonder because Drake London might not
for
play.
Hooper. For Austin Hooper, no. Keep all these guys.
I'm assuming it's
a
forced start situation where they have to start.
I couldn't do it.
If you have to drop one of these guys, it's going to be
Cordero
Patterson for me. Yeah, you're going to drop Patterson and then try to pick him back up with that waiver priority. I would use my waiver priority to get Patterson back on that team if I were you. I think that's a fair use of it if you got to pick up Hooper.
Can you make a trade?
God, you broke my brain a little bit with that one. That one hurts to think about.
That sucks. That would hurt so bad to drop Cordero Patterson to Austin freaking Hooper.
How's it 5 o'clock already?
We can probably answer a couple more questions before we jump off. SV in here wants to know just general thoughts on Brandon Ayuk. I think I might be the highest on Ayuk here for this season, but Joey, we'll throw it to you. What do you think about Ayuk this year?
Yeah, I like him a lot as like a wide receiver 3. I think he's great to plug in if you have to start 3 wide receivers and a flex. I mean, if Trey Lance is good this year, he's going to have 3 guys to throw it to. So, I'm good with Ayuk.
When Ayuk broke out 2 seasons ago, like the 5-game stretch at the end of 2019, he showed us his upside. And it's a top 5 wide receiver. Now, that being said, this offense has changed a little bit. It's going to run through Debo and Kittle first, probably. And Trey Lance is not going to throw the ball as much as Jimmy G, I would imagine. But Ayuk is like exactly what you said. I think he's a high upside wide receiver 3. He's a super talented wide receiver who happens to be the 3rd target on his team. I like Ayuk this year. JL, you in on Ayuk?
I'm with you, Simon. I'm with you. I think we could see a different situation for Brandon Ayuk this year, which could absolutely evaporate his value, or the value we were getting from him last season. But he could also be an important part of this offense. So hesitant, I think, would be the word I would use to describe my thoughts on Ayuk.
Debo was recently on I forget which podathon it was, but and he was talking up Ayuk. He's like, you guys are going to, I think he's like, rue the day that if you didn't draft Ayuk, like he is
rue the day.
What a phrase!
Amazing. I don't think Debo Samuel said that. He's too cool to say that. That's something a nerd like me would say.
Yeah, that's something a nerd like all of us would say. Brendan, and you said it once, and Jail and I both immediately repeated it.
Yeah.
Brendan wants to know, how do you feel about Henderson tonight? What do you guys think about Henderson in tonight's game? Would you be willing to flex him?
No. I mean, I don't think he'll finish in the top 40 running backs. You guys think on the week? Going against Buffalo?
I don't think he will finish as a top 40 back this week. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he was the best running back tonight. If it happened, I wouldn't be shocked. So yeah, but I
have another option. Yeah, if I have another option, it's a wait and see how this backfield breaks down, because could be the Cam Akers show, could be Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers splitting carries. So
if it's a high scoring game, and so maybe there'll be a lot of red zone carries for him. That's what you can hope for. I'm fine flexing him if you have to, but if you have better options, go with those.
I think we got time for this question. Angel Fire said, should I put Ezekiel Elliott or Cortland Sutton in my flex this week? PPR scoring. So are you going Ezekiel Elliott going up against that tough Buccaneers run defense, or Cortland Sutton going up against the Seahawks in the Russell Wilson debut for the Broncos?
Debut. I'm going Cortland Sutton.
Absolutely.
It is Cortland Sutton, absolutely, for me. And that was quick. So we can hit Obi-Wan's follow-up real quick. He said, I can make a trade. Someone offered Ertz for ETN. So they could get Zach Ertz. But the problem is, if you're getting Ertz, Ertz might not play this week either.
Yeah.
So that could be the problem. And if it's the other way, I'm not trading ETN for Ertz. I'm not doing that.
No.
So
Oh, wait. Okay.
I don't know
confused.
which way it is, but either way, I don't
Gotcha.
think it makes sense.
I
for
can
the
make a trade.
situation
Someone
we're in.
offered him Ertz for ETN.
Gotcha. Someone offered
Yeah.
him Ertz. So he'd be
I'm
getting
not
away
taking
ETN.
that.
Yeah,
No. And Ertz might not even play, so it kind of defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do there. Guys, that is going to be it for us today for this office hours. We will be back next week for some more office hours answering your week 2 questions. So make sure to come back and get your week 2 questions answered. While you're here, hit that subscribe button on the channel right now. Do it. That was a little aggressive whenever I came in. But if you want to make sure you don't miss any more of these office hours or our game show or the other stuff that we're doing, hit that subscribe button to make sure you do not miss
Come hang
it,
out with us
please.
tomorrow morning. We'll be talking about the game. It's going to be a ton of fun on the morning show. It'll be a blast. Joe, you'll have to pop in.
I will. I'll call in.
Beautiful.
And hopefully not from a bathroom this time.
I hope it's from
I'll
a
call
bathroom.
from my desk tomorrow.
Can leave you from a bathroom.
Guys, enjoy the game tonight. We will see
yeah.
you bright and early tomorrow morning during the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. Until then, though, adios, everyone. Happy NFL season.
Woo!
We did it.
Hey guys, have a good one tonight.
Let's go.
Let's click the video.